This is Chapter 7, Section 2 for geometry. We're going to take the ratios that we were working on in Section 1 and we're going to apply them to polygon shapes. So the first thing I want you to do is write down that we are talking about similar, which is not necessarily equal or congruent. Okay? Similar means not necessarily the same size or equal. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this similar and we're going to create ratios. If it's a triangle, we'll have 3 ratios. If it's a square or a rectangle, we'll have 4 ratios. Okay, so let's try one of these. Let's look at this example picture on the top here. So in this picture, you see 2 triangles. Once they show you that the angles themselves are congruent to each other, as is the case for these 3 sets of angles, you can say that the triangles are similar. So if all 3 angles are congruent, you can say that they're similar. Now, the order for the way that you write this is important because A, which got cut off here, has to match D, so it has to be first. And you can go around the triangle and make sure. So when you're writing your ratios, let's practice writing our ratios for this one. So the ratios for this one are going to be side AB over side DE equal to, so I just did the first 2, right? The next one is BC, so the second 2 over EF. And the third one is these 2 and these 2. So AC over DF. So now let's replace them with the numbers that we see in the picture. Make myself a little room here. The numbers we see in the picture for AB is 6. The number we see in the picture for DE is 3. The number we see in the picture for BC right here is 9 over 4.5, and the final numbers are 10 over 5. So if I ask you to write a similarity ratio and similarity statement, the first thing you're going to do is put the letters in the correct order like they did here already for us. And then the second thing you're going to do is write out the ratios. And then the third thing is just to simplify each one of them. The ratio is 2:1 or 2:1. You can write it out however you want. And that's just me simplifying each of these fractions. Okay, example 2 is going to ask us, it's going to be given 2 shapes like this. And it's going to ask you to write or identify the pairs of congruent angles and congruent sides. So all you have to do is kind of play a matching game. If you look closely at this, you can see that the marking for D matches the marking for T. So we're going to write angle D congruent to angle T. The other angle that matches is Q and A. So angle Q congruent to angle A. And the third and fourth, there's 2 more angles that match. After A, if we're going to go around in a circle, since we're going this way and this way to get to A, the next one I'm going to include is B, and following in this one goes with R. So just make sure you go in the correct order and you'll be able to match the ones that go together. The last one is the remaining one, angle C congruent to angle S. Okay. Once we have those written out, we need to write our 4 ratios. So I should note here, when you're doing similarity, the angles are congruent, the sides are proportional. And yes, there's an end grade quiz with this one. So that would probably be something I'd tune into. The angles are congruent, but the sides are not congruent, they're just proportional. So we write out ratios, okay? Let's see if we can write these out that match. We're going to take the first letter here and here, DA, or side DA. Change colors for the other triangle here. DA, we've used D and A, goes with T and Q. Okay. The next one that goes together is QR and AB. AB and QR. All right, so we've taken this one, the two bottom ones. The next one that I'm going to do is the one on this side and the one on this side. So notice that my smaller triangle, or smaller quadrilateral, is the one in the top. Looks like a trapezoid. And I got a lot of markings on here, so I'm going to delete them so you can see the numbers again. So for the third side, the ones that are at the top one here is called DC, and the top one on the right-hand side is called ST. And the last one is the one between the two right-angle sides. So we need to do CB and SR. All right. We'll try some more of those in class tomorrow. Okay, the next example that I'm going to do, I'm calling example 3, so this is the third one. We're going to be given the fact that two triangles are similar. All right. Notice that the symbol for similar is looks like a river. It's no longer a congruent symbol, and it's going to be hard for you to get used to this, so just take note. Similar does not mean congruent. It means that their ratios are the same and their angles are congruent. So if we're comparing triangle MNP to QRS, let's draw it real quick so we can kind of get a feel for what goes where. Try to orient them in the correct location, matching your letters. So I'm going to put Q where M is, R where N is, and S where P is, because that's the way they listed it in the similarity statement right up here, okay? And the ratio is 5:2. From this triangle to that triangle is 5:2. So 5 goes with MNP and 2 goes with QRS. MN has to match that ratio. What side goes with MN in the other triangle? RQ. So I'm going to set 5/2 equal to the given, which is 42, over X or RQ, you can call it whatever you want. Multiplying these out, we get 5X equals 84. X equals 16.8 meters. That's how long side QR or RQ is, 16.8 meters. Okay, that's it. Won't be surprised if you guys need me to go over this one tomorrow, so we'll practice this enough tomorrow until you have it. Make sure that you go to end grade right now and take the quiz. Rewatch the video if you have to. Take your time on your answers. See you tomorrow.